slot for the back to slide into. I'll make one more pass and I should have it. Always use glue. I'll tell you what, that one was really good. Perfect. Yes, I know that's a metal hammer, and I'm very, very, very easy with it. Just a little tap. All right, let's take a closer look at it. Yeah, it's starting to look pretty good. Some detail going to it. We'll put that crossbuck pattern going there and move on to the next one. Okay, there's one cabinet door down, one to go. Crossbuck pattern, farmhouse style. Looks pretty nice. It's got a lot to do. Okay, there's kind of a look at what it's going to look like. You get an idea. Of course, there'll be two doors. Let me back up just a little bit. Okay, of course I got to put the bottom shelf in, the back panel in, but it's going to come together pretty nice, I do believe. It's going to have a 2x6 top on it. Long way to go, but I'm trying to get it knocked out. Okay guys, it's about 11:30 at night. I've got both my doors done, hinges mounted. I am going to be putting a rail there in the center. You see the little gap there. I've already got my hinges. I'm tired, I tell you. I've got my, I don't even know what they're called right now. I'm so tired. Door pulls, handle pulls, whatever you call it. They're going to go in there kind of like that. Let's give you an idea. This one, boy, I'll tell you what, that looks good. It's going to give you an idea what that looks like. Black to match. Let me go in there so I can do it. See what I'm doing here. To match the hinges. So it's going to sit on there about like that, sort of. And what I'm trying to say is, I mean, it's not done yet, but there will be. Just give you an idea. There'll be a rail there in the middle. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. There'll be a rail there in the middle once I'm done, but I gotta put the bottom shelf in there. Got a lot more to do, but it's a slow process. I'm so tired. I've been doing so much. But yeah, it's coming along. Just want to give you a look at this and we'll go from there. Well, it's about 12:30 in the morning. Got the doors on, hinges on, handles on. Got the magnet catch holding the door. Got the centerpiece put in. You can see that margin as I scroll by. It's about an 1/8 inch margin all the way up and down. Still got the bottom shelf and the back bottom rail. There's the back panel over there. I just want to give you a little look at the outside shell. It's starting to look pretty good, actually. Let me back up just a touch. Yeah, it's actually looking more like a cabinet now, but like I said, it's getting late. I'm going to call it a night and pick up in the morning, get the rest of it wrapped up so I can disassemble. You know, it's mocking it up now. Disassemble and start staining and make it look even better. So if you have a great rest of your night, and see you tomorrow. Okay, good morning everybody. Just want to show you a quick little update so far progress on the cabinet that I'm building. Got the doors put on late last night, and pretty happy with how it's turning out. Of course, I got the black hinges and black handles to match. Pretty nice touches. Looks really good. And got a little magnet. Let's see if you can see that. Right there. Of course, a little piece there. That left one, for whatever reason, seems to grab a little harder. I ripped this down on the table saw, and it got me a little block here to, as you can see, add for the magnet. There we go. So I gotta go ahead and get this bottom shelf in today, and supports for that, and the back panel, which will slide in through the groove here. And there's the Luan back panel there, and there's the plywood I gotta cut for the bottom shelf. The bad thing about it is this table saw is a small table saw, and it will not do 17-inch fence to blade setup. So what I'm gonna do is use the factory edge right there of that plywood against the front, and I'll jigsaw cut the back and hope for a good joint. So I'm gonna get to work on that, and I'll show some progress pretty shortly. Okay, I just got me a little bead of glue here on the bottom inside rail where this shelf's gonna go, and I'm just gonna go ahead and drop it in here. As you can see there, I got my groove that Luan back panel is gonna slide into. Okay, pretty much fits pretty nicely actually. Pencil lines where I previously marked line back up. Got some, like I said, I showed you the glue joint there. I'm going to rip the one before down to fill a back bottom rail there. Now up here, I want there to be a little bit of a feel. That's just my preference. A little bit of a feel. I want that shelf just a touch below that top rail, because it can consistently be a touch below, but if I try to make it flush, they'll be high in my places. So that's what we did at the furniture factory. But yeah, looks pretty good. Gonna go ahead and go to the table saw and get that board ripped. This one right here, gotta rip it down to make that bottom back rail like this top back front rail, back bottom rail. All right, it's taking shape. Well, I'll tell you what, the fact that I'm recording anything on this build is crazy, because I really don't have the time, but I'm just wanting to get it, I just want to get it videoed, because I want to be able to look back at it eventually, and I just want to share the build and everything. But I'm just going to show you what I've got going so far. I've pretty much got everything done but the top now. Done some silly things. I tell you what, don't work when you're severely tired, but I've done some silly things. I'm going to point that out here in just a second, but I'm going to let you see everything. Giving it a final sand already. I'll go back and dope some of these, put some putty over these brad nail holes, and gonna cut out the top, which still won't be too bad. Then finally I'll be able to sand. Got the doors, let me show you here. Got the doors sitting over here, and I'm just gonna take the handles and the hinges back off of them, stain them, and get some, put some of this wipe on poly on them, and show you over here real quick. That's what we're looking at. Pretty proud of the way it's turning out. Of course, with the doors on the top, it really makes the piece. But I'm just going to show you real quick some of the holes for the hinges, plywood bottom sides, Luan back. There's my front back rail, and let me show you bottom back rail. Oh, excuse me, back here, board to the side. And if I can sneak under here, let me show you, put a cleat on the front and a cleat on the side there, on both sides, to give some support. All this, as you can see, I cut out a groove with my table saw for that panel here to slide into. Okay, so let me back up here a little bit. Okay, so that whole panel slides in, as you can see here, real close. I don't think you can tell there, but you can see by the notch that's left there. It's just gonna slide in. That would be perfect. That was my whole intention. But, so here's the thing, once you put the bottom shelf in down here, let me just back up by saying, this had to be in first before, because to help hold the back up. And for the longest time, that was the only thing on the back side. Connecting the two end panels was the top back rail. So I was gonna just get everything cut and slide it in from the bottom and then put the bottom shelf in. That guy. And, you know, but here's what I did. Being in a rush, being sleep deprived, put the bottom shelf in, put the bottom back rail in, screwed, glued, shot brads. And I was like, oh God, I can't slide it in now. I don't want to take this back off. You know, I've got a couple brads right there, a little putty, and I've got these in glue, and I got 2 Craig jig pocket holes in there. So I was like, oh no. So what I was able to do is I cut it perfectly, which it was going to stop right here anyway. Got glue in the seam. And I cut it perfectly down here as well. And then, of course, bolt it up and let it pop in. Silly little thing I did, but anyway, I'm just babbling. Just want to show you the cabinet. Gonna start the top here pretty soon, and staining all the, you know, the whole thing, the doors, the cabinet. But really liking it so far. Once I get that stain and poly, it's really gonna pop. So I just want to show you guys the progress, and I'll be back shortly. So it begins finally putting down some stain. It's looking pretty good so far. Got a long way to go. Like I said, just now getting to it. It's been a long day, but looking forward to seeing all this thing stained up really good. So I'm gonna get going. Got a lot of work to do, but really liking this. All right, I'll check back with you when I get more done. Okay, just want to give a quick little update. Got one coat of stain on here. Probably going to be the only coat. It's pretty dark. Just got the doors sitting in the opening. Of course, no hardware on them. But I just want to give a good look to see what it's kind of looking like, how it's progressing. You can hear the rain. I suppose you can hear the rain. The humidity and the temperature is affected, so it's going to take a little longer than normal to complete the finish on this. I'm going to do the wipe on poly. See the shelf in there. I'm going to move one of these doors. So I want to show you the trim I did on the front of the shelf. Okay, yeah, I just went ahead and set the doors back up there. But yeah, I did a little trim on the front of that shelf, which you won't see it won't be staying under there, but you can see it's just like a 1/2 x 2. Makes it look a lot better. Blends in with the rest of the thick rails, so it looks pretty good. Happy with the way it's turning out. Hate that it's taking longer than it should, but you know, I mean, the top is right here, upside down. I hadn't even got it stained yet. The weather's not really cooperating too well, but oh well, it's coming together. I'll show you more progress as I get, you know, the poly on and the doors back on. Well, good morning, everybody. I hope your start of the week is going pretty well for you. It's Monday morning. It's been a crazy weekend, just full of rain. Temperature's been low. Humidity's been high. Stain don't want to dry. Can't even start the poly. But I got this cabinet here. Let me show it to you real quick. This cabinet here I've been building. It's turning out really well. I'm really pleased with it. I was wanting to get it to the customer this weekend. Unfortunately, the drying times have been, you know, increased because of the temperature and humidity. There's the doors on top. But anyway, so that's, let me back up. Not happening. It's going to take a couple more days. I reached out to them. They're like, yeah, just take your time on it. I mean, it's looking good. They're really liking it. So guys, here's the cabinet I've been working on. I'm about ready to go deliver it to the customer. Finally got it all good and finished. It's got a shelf inside there. And magnet closures, whatever you call it. Black hinges, matching black handles. Turned out pretty nice. Got the sides is just plywood, and the top is 2x6s, banded with 2x2s, mitered on the corners. So yeah, it turned out pretty good. Show you the back here too real quick. It's a fun build, actually, something, you know, good to build besides a desk for a change. So okay, here's the back. Back rail, piece of Luan, slid in here with a groove I cut on the table saw, glued in really well. Of course, unfinished, but yep, it's looking pretty good. Semi-gloss stain on there. So yeah, it turned out really well. I'm glad to finally get it finished and get ready to go deliver it. But hope you enjoy watching the build, and stay tuned until next time. See you later.